They are reaching out to you this very second, not through a dramatic Hollywood seance or overt paranormal event, but something so subtle, so everyday, you've probably dismissed it 100 times. That specific song, their favorite, that coincidentally played 3 times yesterday. The sudden aroma of their perfume in a vacant room. That instant you were certain you felt them behind you, only to turn and find just air. You're not imagining it. You're not losing your mind. And according to Edgar Cayce, who documented over 14,000 readings on the soul's journey post-passing, you're not mistaken. They are trying to convey something to you. But here is what no one prepared you for. The first year after a person's passing isn't what any religion taught you. It's not what movies depict, nor even what most spiritual teachers will admit. In its initial year, the spirit undergoes an experience of such depth and astonishment that Cayce, upon his first realization, found it utterly incredible. Once you grasp the true nature of events within that vital inaugural year, your perspective on passing and existence will be forever altered. For the reality is, they are not simply at rest. They do not drift among the clouds, nor are they truly absent in any significant way. Instead, they are undergoing the most profound transformation of their being, a comprehensive process, a remarkable passage, a total reorientation of awareness. And what's most extraordinary is that you remain linked to them through each and every stage of this experience. The voyage commences. It all starts with a specific point in time, one Cayce recounted countless times, yet it always held his wonder. The instant of detachment, though not the kind you might imagine. You see, upon someone's passing, there's a common belief that they instantly ascend to a far-off paradise or descend into a realm of reckoning. That is the narrative we have been given. That is the comfort we often seek, a clean, straightforward, conclusive end. Yet, Cayce perceived something quite different. Across numerous accounts, he described spirits experiencing confusion. Can you truly imagine such a state? You have just departed, and rather than encountering angels with their harps or gates of pearl, you find yourself present, if standing is the right word, fully aware, completely conscious. But an undeniable alteration has occurred. You can observe your physical form. It lies there beneath you, or perhaps surrounds you. The spatial arrangement now feels peculiar. You witness loved ones weeping. An urge to console them wells up within you. You attempt to speak, but your words are unheard. You reach out to touch, only for your hand to pass through. And then, the profound truth dawns. It is the most astonishing discovery of your entire being, which has now stretched beyond life itself. You remain utterly, wholly, unmistakably you, with all your memories, all your emotions, all your thoughts intact. Your transition did not erase you. It merely changed your location. But it is here that Cayce's insights reveal a truth so profound, it can feel almost overwhelming. Most spirits do not depart right away. It's simply not possible. This isn't because they are confined. Let me be quite clear about that. It's not a case of lingering, restless presences as depicted in frightful tales. Instead, their presence is sustained by affection, by an anchoring worry. They remain because there are aspects of their own existence they must comprehend before they can truly move on. Consider this deeply for a moment. Truly reflect upon it. Each individual you have grieved, every soul you have missed. Cayce suggested they remained by your side for days, perhaps even weeks, observing your sorrow, yearning to convey their well-being, and perhaps, for the very first time, realizing the true depth of their significance to you. The initial 3 days. Cayce spoke with remarkable, almost unsettling precision on this point. This period, the 3 days immediately following a transition, holds immense importance, not due to theological dictates, nor any random, ethereal rule, but because of the fundamental nature of awareness itself. Over the course of these 3 days, the spirit undergoes an experience Cayce referred to as the review. Perhaps you're familiar with the concept of a life review, where all of one's existence swiftly appears before them. However, this particular experience is distinct. It possesses a profound depth beyond that common notion. Envision suddenly gaining the capacity to witness each individual instant of your journey, not through your own eyes, but rather from the viewpoint of every single person you ever interacted with. Each angry utterance you made, you now perceive the hurt it inflicted. Every act of compassion you offered, you sense the comfort it sparked in someone else's being. Whenever you proceeded past an individual requiring assistance, you register their dismay, their ongoing hardship. Yet, and this is a vital point, this process is devoid of any condemnation. There is no celestial ledger keeper calculating your transgressions and virtuous acts. Instead, a force far more potent emerges: comprehension, a full, absolute, and profoundly impactful grasp of truth. A particular woman approached Cayce, seeking desperately to understand more about her spouse, who had perished unexpectedly in an incident. Cayce entered his deep state of meditation, and upon returning, his eyes were moist with emotion. He conveyed through Cayce that he now, at last, comprehends the reason you consistently urged him to drive with caution. He perceives clearly that each instance of your warning was, in essence, an expression of your affection. This interpretation was previously lost on him, yet now he hears it with absolute clarity. Consider, if you will, the multitude of small misapprehensions that accumulated. All the times we didn't quite connect, when we couldn't discern the affection hidden within concern, or the apprehension concealed by frustration. In a moment, everything gains remarkable lucidity. This marks the profound 40-day transition. However, it is nearing this 40th day that an exceptional occurrence typically unfolds. Cayce has observed this recurrent pattern consistently over time. What's fascinating is how this aligns with a multitude of ancient spiritual customs. For instance, Orthodox Christian faiths, Tibetan Buddhist practices, and even some Native American spiritual systems all acknowledge the 40-day period as profoundly significant following a departure. From Cayce's perspective, this is precisely when the true spiritual journey commences. The essence of the being begins to. How best to articulate this? It starts to emanate a distinct vibrational energy. You know how ice becomes water, and water then rises as steam? It remains the same fundamental substance, H2O, yet its internal structure, its very mode of existence, fundamentally alters. The soul's journey can be understood in a similar light. They commence releasing the more substantial energies, connecting them to physical life. However, what's truly remarkable about this process is that it isn't merely an automatic occurrence. The soul must consciously make this choice. It actively engages in its own freedom, and certain souls, they may hesitate, not due to any negativity or being trapped, but out of a deep concern for those left behind. They observe your sorrows, they witness your struggles, they long to offer assistance, provide direction, and keep you safe. This profound affection, this very empathy, becomes the force tethering them to an intermediate realm, a space between worlds. Cayce once recounted an experience during a reading where a mother, who had already departed, felt such intense worry for her adolescent child that she found herself unable to fully progress. She was deliberately maintaining herself within a lower energetic frequency, solely to remain near the earthly plane, hoping to somehow guide and safeguard her offspring. The profound sorrow. Her daughter's spirit was declining, partly because she couldn't perceive her mother's comforting presence. The mother's very dedication to remain connected was paradoxically constructing a barrier to the vital communication her daughter so desperately needed. It's a universal paradox, a poignant conundrum that truly touches the heart when its full depth is understood. Now, we turn to the realms of learning. Here is where the visions attributed to Cayce become almost fantastical, yet they resonate with such genuine insight that thousands have discovered reassurance within them. After a specific 40-day period, souls who have successfully released their earthly attachments transition into what Cayce termed the learning halls or the schools of consciousness, but dismiss any images of conventional classrooms filled with desks and chalkboards. This experience is entirely unlike any earthly education. Instead, imagine instantly gaining access to the answers for every question you've ever posed. Why did that specific relationship falter? You now comprehend it completely. All the profound soul contracts, all the lessons prearranged before birth, all the growth that emerged from moments of pain. Reflect on why that specific difficulty remained with you throughout your existence. You now perceive that it was cultivating an inner strength within you, a resilience essential for the path ahead. Beyond this, you begin to discern the intricate threads of connection, the immense network of spirits to which you belong. Consider that unfamiliar face who offered you a smile on your most challenging day. They were guided to be there. Or that particular book that tumbled from its place precisely when you needed it, its appearance perfectly arranged. Even that mistaken detour that brought you to your dearest friend, conceived before your very birth. The deeper self starts to grasp that what we term existence is truly an exquisitely choreographed ballet of awareness, with every individual spirit contributing to the collective advancement of all. Among the most poignant insights shared by Cayce was the story of a man who carried lifelong resentment over being abandoned by his father, a feeling that persisted even after his father's passing. Within these chambers of enlightenment, he came to understand that his father's spirit had willingly taken on that specific part to embody the one who withdraws, for this act was destined to ignite a profound quest for spiritual insight, a journey that would culminate in the individual transforming into a guide for healing, offering solace to countless souls. This paternal essence had embraced the guise of an antagonist in a single lifetime, all to fulfill a grander design. The profound surrender inherent in this choice, the depth of affection it represented, does it not fundamentally alter our perception of the hurts we carry? Consider now the milestone of 6 months, approximately half a year after departure, a truly extraordinary event unfolds. The spirit attains what Cayce referred to as the initial stage of comprehension. Having thoroughly assimilated their most recent existence, grasped its underlying intention, and recognized its intricate ties, they are now presented with a pivotal decision. Certain souls opt to ascend further into elevated states of awareness, which Cayce acknowledged were challenging to articulate using earthly words. Imagine hues beyond our visible spectrum, auditory sensations that are not mere sounds, but rather pure conduits of meaning, and sensations of oneness so profound they render our most contemplative meditations utterly simplistic. Yet some, by choice, decide to remain connected to the earthly realm. This isn't due to being trapped, but rather to embracing a specific purpose. They evolve into what countless traditions refer to as guides or guardian spirits. There is something significant here, something for us all to quietly consider. These spirits frequently attempt to reach out to us with heightened intensity around the 6-month point. Why? Because by then, they have acquired enough wisdom to genuinely offer assistance. Yet they remain sufficiently close to recall the human experience, the struggles, the uncertainties, and the moments of apprehension. Perhaps those subtle cues you've tended to overlook, or that particular melody that seems to play precisely when it's most fitting. That dream too vivid and real to be merely a fleeting thought. According to Cayce, these phenomena become more pronounced around the 6-month anniversary. The spirit has now mastered the art of moving through the subtle barrier between dimensions. They have discovered ways to transmit their messages, cutting through the background noise of our physical existence. Still, we frequently overlook these communications because our expectations are set on the wrong kind of signals. We often hope for dramatic events, lights flickering or objects shifting from their place. Souls, however, communicate through intricate connections, through deep intuition, and through sudden insights. That seemingly chance impulse to reach out to someone who then shares precisely what you needed to hear. Perhaps it wasn't chance at all. That immediate compulsion to choose an alternate path home, which subsequently spares you from an accident. Its abruptness might be less than it seems, and that profound sense of calm that washes over you during your most challenging moments. Maybe, just maybe, it is precisely as you perceive it to be. This brings us to the anniversary, a celestial birthday. Then comes the 1-year marker, what Cayce termed the cosmic birthday, representing the soul's initial full cycle in its new state of existence. By this stage, according to various readings, the soul has arrived at fundamental determinations regarding its continuing journey. They have selected their level of engagement with the terrestrial plane. They have identified their specific role within the grander cosmic framework. And they have commenced preparations for either their subsequent incarnation or for their service within the spiritual realms. But here lies what is both deeply moving and sorrowfully poignant about this particular anniversary. Profound communications frequently occur at these moments, not because the soul is closer as they are further along their journey, but because we, the living, finally become ready to accept the message. Grief, you see, resembles static on a radio. For the initial months, we are so absorbed by loss, by pain, and by the shocking void of a physical presence that we cannot perceive the subtle frequencies through which souls communicate. Yet, by the approximate 1-year mark, The sharp intensity of grief frequently softens into something new, a soft sadness tinged with acceptance. And within that calmer state, we become open to receiving. Cayce chronicled countless instances of individuals receiving clear signs on these anniversaries. These were not mere subjective feelings, but actual, objective events. For example, a woman whose husband cherished cardinals suddenly observed a cardinal tapping her window daily for 7 days, starting on the anniversary. A father, after his daughter's passing, discovered her cherished childhood toy. This toy, missing for 2 decades, appeared on the precise anniversary of her death in an utterly improbable location. Such occurrences are not mere chance. Cayce suggests these are meticulously arranged messages, demanding immense spiritual energy to materialize. It's their method of conveying, I have transitioned successfully, I am at peace, and our bond remains unbroken. Should you have encountered a similar phenomenon, an inexplicable event near an anniversary or a date of significance, please consider sharing your story. Feel free to mark any narratives that deeply resonate with your own experience. Often, the deepest solace emerges from the realization that others have journeyed along this very path. Now, let's explore a profound truth regarding sorrow. However, I must now convey something that might prove challenging to absorb. It's a revelation from Cayce that calls into question all our conventional understandings of sorrow and release. Your experience of grief, surprisingly, touches them, though perhaps not in the manner you would instinctively imagine. They do not endure suffering simply because of your sadness. They comprehend sorrow. They perceive the underlying affection contained within it. However, a distinct form of sorrow exists, the kind that clings stubbornly, yearning for a loved one's presence, challenging the universal flow. Such deep mourning generates what Cayce described as a powerful magnetic attraction for the spirit. Picture yourself nearing graduation, yet your parents remain outside, shedding tears, pleading for your return to early schooling. You hold affection for them, desiring to soothe their pain. However, you also recognize the necessity of progression. There are lessons awaiting discovery, experiences to embrace, and personal development to attain. This perfectly illustrates the predicament we impose upon souls when we find ourselves unable to release them gracefully with affection. Among Cayce's most insightful revelations was a session involving a mother who had mourned her son's passing for 3 long years. Each evening, her tears would accompany her to slumber as she implored him to reappear, to offer a sign, to never abandon her. During his trance state, Cayce conveyed messages using the son's own voice. Mother, your sorrowful tears act as bonds that restrain me. Cherish my memory, hold me in your heart, but set me free. I have tasks to fulfill, and so do you. Initially, the mother reacted with indignation. How could anyone suggest her sorrow was misplaced? Yet, a dawning comprehension began to settle within her. Her son, in his spiritual presence, was not asking her to cease loving him or to forget his absence. Instead, he was inviting her to reshape her lament, to transform it into something constructive, into purpose, into personal growth, into a connecting pathway between realms, rather than an isolating enclosure. This brings us to the preparation phase. Within the 6 to 12-month period following transition, another significant process unfolds, a process detailed in Edgar Cayce's readings. The soul is engaged in preparation, but for what exactly is it preparing? This is where the narrative becomes truly compelling and perhaps a touch unconventional. According to Cayce, during this time frame, most souls commence the intricate planning of their subsequent embodiment. This isn't born of obligation. Let me emphasize this clearly. There isn't any universal force compelling them back into physical form, but rather a profound desire originating from within. From their broadened vantage point, they perceive precisely which experiences are essential for the advancement of their own spiritual journey. They meticulously begin selecting their future parents, the upcoming challenges they will face, and the specific talents and limitations that will accompany them. And here comes the truly astonishing insight. Souls often choose to embody themselves with the very same spirits they encountered before, yet in entirely different configurations. The person who is your mother in this existence might become your daughter in the next. Your fiercest opponent could evolve into your most beloved spouse. The child you lost may return to you as your grandchild. While the specific roles may transform, the underlying connections always persist. Cayce once shared an account from a reading where a couple who had grieved the loss of their baby daughter were told she would rejoin their family not as their own child, but as their grandchild through their son. 20 years afterward, their son had a daughter who displayed extraordinary bonds with her grandparents, knowing things she could not possibly have learned and exhibiting preferences and fears that were an exact match for the infant who had passed away. However, not every soul opts for an immediate return to physical form. Some spirits spend years, even decades or centuries, in what Cayce termed the interim states, realms dedicated to gaining wisdom, offering assistance, and preparing for future journeys. They often become instructors for souls who have recently arrived. Additionally, they serve as guides for those still living on Earth. They take part in what Cayce called the greater work, the ongoing evolution of consciousness. On the topic of communication codes, let me now share a practical insight, something you might find truly useful. Cayce discovered that souls cultivate what he referred to as unique communication patterns with their loved ones, typically solidifying these connections within the first 12 months. Such patterns are not arbitrary. Instead, they are thoughtfully selected, drawing from shared recollections, private humor, and symbols holding deep significance within the bond. For instance, a soul might consistently use a particular melody that resonated deeply within your shared experience, or perhaps a certain bird or creature both of you held affection for. This may include significant numbers like birthdays, anniversaries, or other important dates, along with fragrances that awaken specific memories, or even electrical shifts appearing in consistent patterns. But here is the crucial point. These signs are gentle invitations to connect, not demands for your attention. Upon recognizing them, the suitable reaction is not sorrow, nor a frantic effort to cling. It represents an acknowledgement, a quiet message. I see you, I feel you, I love you, and I'm at peace. This is what they long to understand, that you're well, that you're living, that their absence has not broken you, but is instead shaping you. A man once shared with Cayce how he continually discovered dimes in utterly unexpected spots. Within his securely locked car, tucked inside sealed food packets, even in a jacket pocket he hadn't touched in years. Cayce smiled and remarked, "Your father used to collect dimes during the Depression, didn't he?" He's revealing that even amid scarcity, abundance can manifest. Cease searching for the dimes themselves and begin to perceive the richness He's guiding you towards. The man wept, deeply moved. He confessed that since his father's passing, he had become so consumed by financial anxieties that he had unconsciously isolated himself from new possibilities. The dimes were not mere signals, but profound lessons, illustrating love's continuous evolution. Here is an idea that might profoundly alter your perspective on your bonds with those who have departed. Cayce suggests that love does not merely persist following death. It undergoes a transformation. Just contemplate this idea. When an individual sheds the constraints of ego, the grip of fear, and all the mental shields we construct throughout life, what then persists? Simply their truest essence, an unblemished love. The affection they hold for you isn't lessened by their transition. Instead, it becomes refined through it. Those instances when they struggle to voice their feelings of love, held back by pride, hurt, or mere human limitations, all of these simply vanish every time they wish to offer their support, but lack the understanding of how. Now that wisdom is clear to them, the entirety of the love they carried within but couldn't share now flows unimpeded. Cayce illustrated this beautifully during a session for a woman whose husband had maintained an emotional distance throughout their marriage. "He loves you presently," Cayce explained, in the manner he consistently desired, yet found himself unable to. Not due to a lack of willingness, but from an absence of knowing how. Now that understanding is his, and this affection envelops you constantly, irrespective of your perception of it. However, and this point holds immense significance, we must cultivate an openness to accept this transformed love. When we cling to anger regarding their earthly conduct or remain rigid with resentment over what we felt we were denied, we block ourselves from accepting what they are offering in this moment. Granting forgiveness isn't solely for their benefit. It serves as the essential key, unlocking the pathway to this ongoing bond. Let's now address the misconception of unfinished business. I want to dispel a widely held belief that often leads to considerable distress. The notion that spirits become trapped due to unresolved earthly affairs. As Cayce made plain, souls are not detained simply because they neglected to file paperwork, utter a farewell, or complete some mundane worldly chore. Such ideas belong to fictional narratives, not to genuine spiritual understanding. What genuinely has the potential to impede a soul's advancement is an incomplete comprehension, not unfulfilled duties, but rather lessons yet to be learned. And here lies the profound beauty of this truth. These vital lessons can be absorbed and concluded from beyond the veil, frequently with greater ease than was possible during their lifetime. The forgiveness you never extended, they are capable of receiving it now. That pivotal conversation you never shared verbally, you can engage in it presently, not through spoken words, but within the realm of consciousness. The affection you never voiced, release it now. It will be absorbed with a clarity unmarred by the filters of human individuality. Cayce once offered solace to a woman who harbored deep regret over a dispute with her mother the day before her passing. Your mother understood completely, even before her spirit departed her physical form. The disagreement itself served as the very impetus for her liberation. She harnessed your strong emotions, transforming them into the energy needed to transition. What you perceived as a failing, she experienced as a profound offering. This exemplifies the profound shift in perspective, a complete re-evaluation that unfolds when we comprehend the soul's ongoing journey. No element is ever superfluous. Each experience ultimately contributes to the preparatory chambers. Around the 8th or 9th month, Cayce elaborated on a captivating phenomenon. He described souls arriving in what he termed the waiting rooms or the preparation chambers. These are not tangible locations. No physical matter exists in their realm. Instead, they represent states of consciousness where ultimate preparations unfold. For souls intending to reincarnate, this is the place where they convene with what many spiritual paths term the council or the planners, evolved entities who help arrange the intricate tapestry of future lives. It's akin to a grand cosmic chess match where each decision influences countless other developments. However, for spirits choosing to dwell in the ethereal realm, this is where they are given their duties, their contributions to the grander cosmic effort. Some take on roles we often describe as guardian angels. Others contribute to shared human awareness, gently inspiring artists, musicians, and writers. Yet others direct their focus toward planetary well-being or the progression of species, and a select few choose to assist with the very act of passing, becoming welcoming guides who help other souls cross over. Cayce recounted many occasions when individuals nearing their earthly end described seeing departed loved ones who had arrived to lead them. These are not mere imaginings. They are souls who have willingly undertaken this sacred duty of guidance. Consider that thought. Your grandmother, your friend, your child. These presences can be the initial visits and individual encounters upon departing their physical form, providing solace, familiarity, and direction during that intensely profound and often daunting transition. This phenomenon is known as the birthday gift. As the initial year concludes, a truly wonderful occurrence frequently unfolds, which Cayce often referred to by this very name. It represents a distinct, concluding message preceding the soul's deeper integration into its subsequent phase of being. Understand clearly, this is not a farewell. It's more akin to a graduation ceremony, a progression to a higher state, a fresh chapter, yet the profound bond endures. It simply takes on a different expression. Such communications, timed around the anniversary, frequently offer the most compelling evidence, proving utterly irrefutable. Individuals recount discovering misplaced items, encountering messages delivered by complete strangers who could not possibly grasp the deeper meaning of their words, or experiencing dreams so incredibly lifelike and precise they defy dismissal as simple fantasy. However, a crucial point must be grasped. These gestures extend beyond mere comfort. They are, in fact, directives. These influences gently guide you toward your personal unfolding, your unique development, and your true calling. Should a book suddenly drop from its place, consider picking it up. If someone unexpectedly comes to mind, reach out to them. When a certain location calls to you, make the journey. These are not mere coincidences or fleeting urges. Instead, they are gentle nudges from a presence that perceives the broader tapestry of your existence. Should you find these insights helpful, perhaps illuminating your own path or preparing you for future moments, please consider joining this community, and do activate the notification chime as well. I regularly explore subjects concerning the profound enigmas of life, themes often overlooked by conventional spiritual discourse. Truly, knowing there are others like you, journeying in search of understanding fuels my commitment to this exploration. Let us now turn to the concept of the sacred contract. Here then is a revelation from Cayce, a topic rarely discussed by many. The sacred understanding shared between those alive and those who have passed on. It is not a formal pact or a written pledge. Rather, it is a natural, evolving bond that takes shape during the initial year. Your soul discovers how to collaborate with you from its realm, just as you learn to interact with it from your own perspective. United, you form a connection spanning across different realities. Yet, this profound connection asks something significant of you. It calls for you to truly live, to fully engage with life, not merely to endure your sorrow, but to find growth and change within it. For here lies a crucial insight. Their ability to act depends entirely on your vitality. Your moments of happiness serve as conduits for their subtle guidance. Your imaginative spirit transforms into a vessel for their inspiring ideas. Your capacity for affection provides a pathway for their enduring nearness. Should you withdraw, should you cease to truly experience life, you inadvertently diminish their legacy. You effectively seal off the essential pathways through which they might persist in engaging with the tangible realm. Cayce emphasized this point with unwavering conviction. The most precious offering you can bestow upon those who have departed is to embrace life wholeheartedly, to love without reservation, and to continuously evolve. Your journey of development mirrors their own progress. Your delight is shared as their delight. Your attainment of personal purpose affirms their significance in molding the person you are today. This is the essence of the transformation protocol. So, how do we put this understanding into practice? How do we evolve from those who grieve into connecting pathways? From individuals in mourning to collaborative spirits alongside those on the other side. Firstly, recognize the unbroken connection. Cease viewing them as absent and begin to perceive them as having undergone a transformation. They don't reside in what was. Instead, they exist within another realm of the current moment. Secondly, cultivate your awareness. Engaging in meditation isn't merely a spiritual exercise. It functions as a method for communication. The more tranquil you grow, the greater your capacity to discern. The more serene your thoughts, the clearer your perceptions become. Those faint signals you tend to overlook, begin to notice them intently. Thirdly, lead a life filled with intention. Consider if they now possess a broader perspective. If they comprehend the reasons behind events unfolding as they did, what desires would they hold for you? Not their wishes from when they were bound by earthly viewpoints, but rather what they genuinely desire for you now, observing from a heightened vantage point. Fourthly, let go with affection. This doesn't imply ceasing to feel their absence. Rather, it signifies releasing the desperate grip you may hold upon them. Offer them unbound affection. Encourage their progress. Support their journey toward their fullest potential as you cultivate your own. Ultimately, strive to be the connection. Recount their life narratives not as sorrowful tales, but as accounts of profound change. Commemorate their existence not by remaining stagnant in yesteryear, but by embracing their finest attributes and bringing them into tomorrow. Cayce revealed a profound truth about the initial year following a passing. It isn't truly about those who have departed, but rather about ourselves. The soul embarks on its path, irrespective, Indeed, our sorrow can touch them. Our affection can connect with them. Our evolution can release them. Yet, their ultimate advancement is certain. They are sustained by forces of compassion and insight far exceeding our human grasp. But for us, there is a choice. We can allow a passing to be just a termination, a full stop at a sentence's close. Or we can let it be a transition, a gentle comma in an unfolding discussion. The first year following a person's death is not solely their time of change, it is truly our own. At such moments, we are faced with a fundamental decision. Will we succumb to the pain of absence, or will we embrace the lessons inherent in deep affection? Will we let ourselves be confined by sorrow, or will we become trailblazers of profound connection? Do we permit earthly departure to have the final say? Or do we uncover that love possesses a language capable of spanning beyond the grave? Every individual listening will encounter this choice. Perhaps you are navigating it presently. Perhaps you anticipate it in the future. Or perhaps it lies in your distant past, yet its lingering weight remains. Here is the wisdom Edgar Cayce wished for you to know. Physical passing is not the antithesis of life. Instead, it is the opposite of birth. Life itself endures, consciousness persists, love, without a doubt, continues. This is the ultimate insight, guiding us to the most paramount truth, the one that profoundly alters everything once its essence is truly grasped. The souls who have completed their initial year, who have progressed through all these intricate phases, and who have achieved this broadened outlook, consistently convey a singular message through every reading Cayce ever conducted. It is one profound truth they earnestly desire for us to understand. Our essence isn't merely human, experiencing the spiritual. Rather, we are spiritual entities undergoing a human journey. The act of transition, of passing on, is simply a homecoming, a return to the recognition of our authentic selves. Yet, here lies the profound insight. We need not delay this remembrance until our physical departure. In every instance of affection, each gesture of absolution, every decision to progress instead of remaining still, whenever we opt for unity instead of division, we are indeed reaching that identical understanding which those who have transitioned have found. They are not merely awaiting our arrival beyond this realm. Instead, they are actively collaborating with us in this very moment and place, guiding us to awaken to this reality while we remain within our physical forms, bound by time, still capable of experiencing, mending, and crafting within this profound, exquisite, yet challenging material existence. The initial year following their passage marks their period of learning. However, to live with an understanding of that profound journey, that is our curriculum, our profound invitation to transform. And so, I present this challenge for you to embrace. Regardless of whether your loss is recent or distant, whether your heart holds sorrow or joy, and whether you embrace these ideas or approach them with doubt, consider this practice before you sleep this evening. Just before drifting off to sleep, softly utter their name, not with a heavy heart of sorrow, nor with a yearning born of desperation, but with simple, peaceful recognition. Speak these words. I understand that your journey continues. I sense your ongoing evolution. I know you're boundless and free, and I'm choosing to embrace life completely, to love openly, and to evolve perpetually. This isn't a choice made despite your absence, but rather because of the profound experience of having known you. Afterwards, observe with an open mind, not searching for grand or overt signals, but for gentle transformations, a surprising wave of tranquility, an unprompted flash of understanding, a quiet realization, or a comfort that defies explanation. For here lies the ultimate revelation. They are not patiently awaiting your departure from this life to find reunion. That connection, that sense of coming together, is accessible right now within your awareness, within the boundless sphere of love, and in the perpetual present moment that transcends the mere illusion of being apart. The initial year following their transition marks only the dawn of a new phase, both for them and for us who remain. The pertinent query is not about the survival of consciousness itself. The central inquiry lies in what you will choose to do with this newfound insight. How will it influence your present existence? This very moment where you possess breath, the freedom to choose, and the remarkable capacity to express affection within a physical form, with hands able to embrace, voices capable of expression, and hearts open to connection. Those dear to you have progressed to a different state of being, yet you remain within the classroom of life. And perhaps it's possible they are more than simply those who have left us. They might be guides, illustrating through their own metamorphosis that departure doesn't signify the conclusion of one's narrative. Rather, it's merely the turning of a leaf, and the subsequent segment of your story is being composed in this very moment by the choices you make while holding this understanding. Should these thoughts resonate deeply within you, if they have illuminated a fresh perspective on both transition and life itself, please consider sharing them with another who might benefit from hearing them. Feel free to leave a reflection detailing your own experiences. Your narratives could very well be precisely what another individual requires to encounter today. And remember, each occasion you interact with this message, every instance you share these profound insights, you're actively helping to forge a link between distinct realms. Here, we are more than mere observers and originators. We are adventurers of awareness, gently expanding the frontiers of what it signifies to be human, what it means to truly care, and what it implies to continue existing. While the initial year following a loved one's transition holds a sacred quality, so too does this precise moment. So does the rhythm of your own breath, and so does your conscious decision to persist in growth, to keep loving deeply, to keep unfolding into your true self. Those who have moved on are not truly absent. They have completed a stage, and they are simply anticipating, not for you to join them in their new state, but for you to awaken to the truth that you are already connected. The ethereal curtain is not as impenetrable as we often perceive it to be. Love serves as the very frequency that effortlessly moves through it. And consciousness, awareness itself, is the profound connection that renders any true separation utterly impossible. Embrace this truth. Welcome this continuation. Welcome the profound understanding that a departure is not the conclusion. It is merely the unfolding, the very beginning of finally comprehending the genuine nature of existence. And now, in this quiet moment, you possess the wisdom that they do. The inquiry, what will you do with it? That response won't just alter your life, it reshapes your eternity. And it commences now. Warmth, warmth, yes, warmth.